Hey, welcome back to the Crash Base. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're back with some more gameplay. We're playing Adam Warlock, not in any one aspect, but of course all four basic aspects, and we're playing against Expert Klaw. Now this deck is really weird. It's a bit of a goofy deck, maybe a bit of a stunt deck, because while we're playing Adam Warlock and the 15 Adam Warlock cards we have to play, the other 26 cards we added to our deck are all zero cost cards. This is literally the cheapest Marvel Champions deck you can play, and so far in my testing, it's not been that bad. It's been surprisingly okay. And so hopefully we're going to replicate some success here taking on Expert Klaw. Now we're going to do a quick dive into the deck to talk a bit about our card decisions and our overall strategy here. But of course, there are timestamps in the description. So if you want to jump ahead to gameplay, please don't hesitate to do that. Firstly, though, if you want to take a second just to leave a like on the video, if you appreciate content like this, it really does help the channel grow. And with that, let's talk a bit about Adam Warlock. This is Adam Warlock, 112 stat line, pretty miserable, 11 health, not too bad. And we have this Battle Mage action ability on us, which is kind of the star of the show here. We can discard a card from our hand once per phase, and then based off of the type of that card, either if it's an aggression card, we deal 2 damage. If it's a justice card, we remove 2 threat. If it's a protection card, we heal 1 health from an ally. And if it's a leadership card, you choose a hero, which is going to have to be us, and give them +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 defense for the whole round. And whole round is important. It means actually we can get a 3 defense stat and use that in the villain phase, which is kind of cute. Now, the backside of the alter ego side, that actually is a really big part because it explains our deck building restrictions. It says that during deck building, we must include an equal number of cards from all 4 aspects, and you cannot include more than 1 copy of the same card by name. So it is inherently a bit of a unique deck. All the cards show up as one-ofs, besides, of course, your Adam Warlock cards. And we are choosing here to play 6 copies of each aspect. Now, you can, in theory, go ahead and play Deadpool, the pool aspect, if you want to. That does work as a deck building restriction. However, Deadpool inherently doesn't work with any of the hero text, so we didn't want to do that. As much as there are some good zero-cost pool cards, but that's all we did, is we wanted to play as few cards as we can. So it's 6 times 4 is 24 cards, and then we're playing 2 neutral cards, 2 basic cards, which actually kind of have some downsides with Adam Warlock and his kit. Now, this ability is super important, and we're going to be trying to fire that every turn. As you'll find out, a bunch of the zero-cost cards are situational. They require certain board states. They sometimes don't do anything if you don't have the right setup. And so it's really nice to have this Battle Mage ability so that if it's not the right board state, you can at least discard one of those cards to do a cool thing that pushes you forward. Now, this deck feels very toolboxy, and just having that other option to always be able to do thwart 2 or attack 2, because our stats aren't very good, it goes a pretty long way with Adam Warlock. Now, some of the Adam Warlock cards that are worth talking about, I think it's these 4 cards, which are very integral to our kit. Most important card is Mystic Senses, and we have 2 of these. This card says after you resolve Adam Warlock's Battle Mage ability, which we want to do once per phase, we get to draw a card. And so with both of these down, that means every time we discard 1 card, we draw 2 cards. And the fact that they're zero-cost cards means we can usually play them. Sometimes we end up with a hand that is not totally playable. And there are, of course, cards in our deck that cost actual resources, like Adam Warlock's cards. So having more cards is always good. But again, with the toolbox and situational cards, it's always nice to draw more. We have Warlock's Cape that says after you do the Battle Mage, you ready Adam Warlock. Now, this is kind of mediocre, I'll be honest, not the most important card. The fact is our stats are really, really bad. And while it's easy to add stat increasing upgrades to Adam Warlock to get more value, those cards cost more than 0. So we're not getting that much value from this. As much as you can have the interaction where you boost your stats and ready you, and then you're attacking for 2 again, it's okay. Finally, we have Karmic Staff, which, you know, it doesn't seem like it'd be super important when your deck costs 0, but it's actually not bad at all. Not only can you generate resources for like attachments, and some of the allies we have in our deck require certain resources to boost them up, just the fact that makes it easier to play your non-zero cost cards actually goes pretty far. It's just a wild resource generator. It's as good as it looks, even in a zero cost based deck. Then we have a bunch of basic events. We have Cosmic Awareness and Karmic Blast. While we have more attacking than thwarting in this list, I think overall, all these cards kind of work the same. They have a base amount of damage or thwarting they'll do, and then you discard up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. And each different aspect that shows across those discarded cards, it adds 1 thwart or 1 attack. This is a big reason why you actually don't want to play too many basic cards, because they actually gum this up. But this one does threat. This one is the same. 2 for 8 is technically possible, and I'll be very excited if we run into that. But usually you're getting somewhere like 2 for 6, which is still quite good. Then we have Quantum Magic. This card's really good. Choose a card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. The fact that this costs 1, hopefully we play it for free with our staff. All the cards we're getting back usually cost 0, which means you can always play them. So your discard pile becomes a toolbox. And again, a lot of the zero cost cards are situational. So grabbing the right card is such a fun puzzle in an Adam Warlock deck, let alone this Adam Warlock deck. We have 2 copies of Cosmic Ward. This one actually will matter. This is an upgrade you put on the table that lets you cancel the when revealed on a treachery. Very powerful effect. And we have a bit of cards that interact with it. We have Soul Ward, which is a massive recovery card. I like this card so much. And while this deck has no stun or confuse, it can be sometimes difficult to jump to alter ego. This will get a counter once we deck out, and then we can exhaust this to heal all damage from your identity and just be reborn over and over again. You generally heal like 20 health in a game easily by never doing recovery, just because Soul Ward, you have to time when you're going to hop down, and then hopefully find that exact window where you go from 1 health to 11 health. It just feels so good. Finally, we have Pip the Troll. He's okay. You can play him during the villain phase and you get a toughness ally. Toughness allies are really awkward unless you can drop them during the villain phase, because I hate activating with them, so they get a bit of slow return off value, but Pip the Troll is totally fine. Our deck wants to defend a bit, but we actually are going to use some allies to get in the way. Now, everything else we're left with is the 4 different aspects. We're running 6 cards of each type, so we'll run through them really quickly. Again, a lot of these cards are just sometimes the best options or the only options in the 0-cost slot. There are cards that we refused to play or chose not to play more accurately, but these are the ones that so far seem the most flexible and seem the most consistent. And it's actually really cool how many 0-cost allies you can play, and it doesn't feel like a terrible downside. We have Angela. Angela's great. Grabs a minion. We have a lot of cards that go and grab minions, and we have a lot of cards that need minions in play, so it doesn't feel terrible. Having that forward damage coming in from Angela, and then you can block the villain's attack feels fantastic. And we also have Wasp, and you'll see Ant-Man, technically a 0-cost ally, but as long as we spend energy resources, we can give Wasp up to 3 health. Unfortunately, our deck has the least amount of energy resources compared to anything else. I think it's about 12 energy resources, which still isn't bad, as much as we also have a wild generator. But Wasp coming in, I've never seen Wasp hit 3 health, so 2 health is okay. And we have built-in healing on Adam Warlock's ability with our protection cards, so we can keep Wasp alive. Looking for trouble? Goes grabs minions, removes threat. Why not? We have Bring It, and I actually really like Bring It. We have a bit of that minion package, so we draw cards for each minion engaged with us. It has a really nice interaction with one of the protection cards we're playing. Then we have Skilled Strike, which is the perfect encapsulation of a 0-cost card that gives you +2 to something. That's pretty common. Most of our cards do something like that. So this means it will be a 3 attack, which is a pretty good breakpoint. And finally, Chase Them Down, which is exactly what a lot of these cards in the deck are, where they're situational. If you have it on the right board state, it does perfect 0 for 2, and it's up to you to set up those board states. And if not, just discard it to do 2 damage. Next up, Leadership, which I think are my least favorite cards because they feel the most clumsy, which is kind of wild. Out of the aspect that's all about allies, we only have one option. It's Ant-Man, and Ant-Man is a fair bit better than Wasp, if you ask me, because Ant-Man can get up to 4 health whenever you overspend to play Ant-Man, and Ant-Man doesn't care about those resources. And it's 2/2, which is nice, a bit more thwarting as much as a bit less attack, but Ant-Man's great. You'll very easily sink 2 or 3 health into Ant-Man, even 4 health sometimes. Leadership staple, Make the Call, again, gives us a bit more access to allies. We're all about toolboxing, so using our discard pile. We have 5 allies on the deck, so hopefully this finds something good for us. And Get Ready is also just kind of okay. 0 cost, Ready's an ally. Some of our allies we actually want to get out of the way quickly, but it's just another flexible card that usually comes out to a 0 for 2 damage or 0 for 2 thwart. Teamwork. Same idea, it's a 0 for 2 usually. We exhaust an ally when we're using one of our basic powers and we add their stats to our stats, so functionally 0 for 2. We have Strength in Numbers, which this one's like okay. We can exhaust usually 1, sometimes 2 allies just to draw 1 or 2 cards, so it usually just filters itself. We'll often have an ally on 1 health we're keeping for a block, so that doesn't feel terrible. Not perfect on all board states, but usually the 0 cost cards are not. And finally, Call for Aid. This is the card I'm the closest on the edge of cutting. It discards cards from our deck until we find an Avenger, and we have 2 Avengers, they're Ant-Man and the Wasp. And as long as we have the right resources, hopefully we get the right one in our hand. Ant-Man is a lot more flexible to draw than Wasp, and if we know where one of them are, we know which other one we're going to get. So this card's a bit awkward, but if we just want to have an ally, this is the easiest way to get it. Those are our 6 leadership cards. Justice. Justice has some really good 0 cost cards. A lot of these are like staple cards you play a lot of. I'm playing Foiled, which I haven't played a lot of. It's fine. It's usually 0 for 2. It says when a boost card is turned face up during a scheme activation, cancels boost icon. This is the closest thing we have to confuse. So we hold one of these in our hand, or we know we're going to draw one when our deck is thin. We can hop down to Alter Ego and pretty safely just have the villain scheme for 2 without any boost icons. And that is, again, the closest we have to confuse in a 0 cost deck. Turn the Tide. This has actually been trickier than I wanted it to be. It's after we thwart and remove all threat from a scheme, deal 3 damage. A 0 for 3 is better than the baseline 0 for 2 than we're expecting. However, very importantly, Adam Warlock's ability is not a thwart text. So you actually have to use Adam Warlock's basic thwart, or more accurately play one of Adam Warlock's 2 thwarting cards. That's usually how it lines up. At minimum, you can just discard this to Battle Mage for 2 threat and it's fine. One way or another is amazing. It's always the best. It's a 0 cost that draws 3 cards. We go grab a side scheme and put into play. If we're holding any way in our hand to take threat off, whether it's our basic activation, another yellow card, this is just great. And again, drawing a lot of 0 cost cards means we can play a lot of 0 cost cards, hopefully, if everything is set up. Top of that, Skilled Investigator, again, staple card. When a side scheme is cleared, draw a card. And again, we're grabbing side schemes, so that's pretty consistent. We also have Overwatch, which just doubles our thwart. We attach this to a main scheme or a side scheme, and then when any amount of threat will come off that, we can remove threat from another one. We're also trying out Show of Empathy. This is one of the newer cards, and there are a lot of 0 cost side schemes. This one comes in with 6 threat, And in theory, you can take threat off this to put threat onto a minion, and eventually that minion will become yours when you attach redemption to it. We've actually turned out to be okay at dealing with minions, so it's not the most important card. I think you can swap this out, but it's a new card and I want to try it out, and it's been fine. Not anything special, it's just been totally okay. Nearly last stop, we have protection. We have some really good protection cards here. We do want to defend a bit, and these go pretty far. Firstly, we have one copy of Shield Spell, which is okay. That's all you can have. And Adam Warlock came out with a full playset of all these different spells, one per faction that interact by discarding cards on top of your deck. This, unfortunately, is the only one we can play. It's so good. When you take any amount of damage from an attack, discard an equal amount of cards from the top of your deck and prevent that damage. With this in your hand, you functionally can't die to attacks, and that's just a great feeling. Discarding cards from your deck is not that big of a cost. Then we have some nice defense cards. Defiance, for 0 cost, you just don't flip the boost card, so you dodge some amount of damage and some amount of boost icons. That can be important in Klaw. We're playing Expert Defense, a card I don't often play, but 0 for +3 defend as long as we're defending. 5 defense means we'll get through a lot of villain phase unscathed. Now, of course, again, you can always discard protection cards to your ability on your hero to heal your allies, as much as I think protection is the least interesting one, because all of our allies don't have cool attacks. They just like thwart or attack for 2. We have Pinned Down, and I actually really like Pinned Down. It is such a situational card, and we are a bit of a toolbox deck. But if you put this on a minion, especially in Klaw that has 2 attack, it just sits there. And then all your other cards that scale about having minions engage with you just get better. So I actually really, really like this. If we want to go get a minion, mind you, come get me, bub. 3 health and toughness. So far, I haven't needed to play this too much, but it's a nice safety option. And finally, coming back from what we just played in Black Widow, Return the Favor is actually really perfect with our ability to cancel the when revealed on encounter cards. So this becomes a 0 for 5, which is incredible, considering that 0 for 2, 0, 2.5 baseline on most of our cards. That's protection. Again, discarding them to Battle Mage is okay. I'd rather discard a red or yellow card. Honestly, blue and green feel like the least of the options. And then finally, we have 2 basic cards. And there's some really good basic cards that you should be playing in every Adam Warlock deck, but they cost more than 0. So these are the 2 that we decided on. Firstly, Grant Ward means we can play a 5th ally. I'm a really big Grant Ward fan, and he has been a problem. He's taking away our mental resources, and we have a fair few of them. And using the ability to ready some of our allies, we can make sure Grant Ward leaves before he betrays, which is great. Finally, Spiritual Meditation. Now, you can only play 1 copy of this, but draw 2 cards, choose and discard a card from your hand is just great. Again, toolbox flexibility. You just don't want to play too many basic cards because a lot of your Adam Warlock cards discard from the top of your deck looking for aspect cards. So you do end up diluting that the more non-aspect cards you play. And that's the deck. Situational 0 for 2s is our hope. And so far, my testing has actually not been that terrible. You have to be a bit creative using your discard pile, setting yourself up. Once you get that engine rolling and you're drawing a lot of cards, that is when it gets really, really quite fun. I'll be honest, the first times I played Adam Warlock, the deck was just a collection of all the best cards from every aspect. And it was a lot of generalist cards, just like, oh, this card's really good, this card's really good. And it didn't feel like I had a lot of synergy. It just kind of felt like I don't know, maybe a clip show of all the best things you can do. Not really synergistic or that satisfying. And so far, the 0 cost challenge has actually been like really interesting, and you have to milk the most value you can out of what you have and try to make the best of a bad situation. And sometimes cards line up perfectly and you just play like 6 cards in a turn, 6+, and it's really, really satisfying. Now with that, we can give this a shuffle and start. We're going to just set up Klaw really quickly. You might be familiar with Klaw, again, from the core set. I go back and play Klaw all the time. I think Klaw is sick. We're playing Expert Klaw here. So Underground Distribution, we have 2 main schemes that we're going to be playing with all stock standard stuff. So Klaw 2 and 3 on Expert, and the 1 modular set is going to be Masters of Evil. Klaw set has a lot of weird boost cards. It's 5 minions and 3 side schemes. We're going to have to keep those numbers in mind because we're going to be discarding for those cards. 4 more minions and 1 more scheme from Masters of Evil. And we're starting with 2 schemes on the table. So the number of schemes is a bit lower. We're still going to have a lot of minions in the deck. The setup says to search and counter deck for Defense Network and reveal it, which we already have. We'll look at that in a second. And we just flip this over and advance to 1B. Now, the limit on this main scheme is not too high. It's only 6 threat as much as there's a second main scheme. And it says when revealed, discard cards from the top of the counter deck until a minion is discarded, put that minion into play. There's a lot of variance here. Firstly, it doesn't reveal the minion and puts it into play, so you do beat Surge and any nasty when revealed text. But the biggest thing is that the minions come in 2 different categories. Small 2 or 3 health minions, and then big Masters of Evil. So this discard always feels like it sets the pace for how your game is going to go. So either, again, we can get a massive radioactive man or a relatively small gun runner. So good luck to us. Give that a cut, and we'll discard. It's Melter right off the top. Okay, Melter's kind of the midpoint. 5 health on Melter, Masters of Evil. The engaged player must defend against Melter's attacks with an ally they control if able. And 5 health on turn 1 actually might be a bit hard. So maybe 3 attack is what we're going to take on turn 1. We'll see how good we draw. Next, let's just look at Klaw really quickly. Coming in with 18 health, when revealed, search the deck and discard pile for the Immortal Klaw. Put into play. I already put in play. In theory, if we discarded it, it would just hit the table anyways, but you're meant to do this after you do the main scheme. And Force Interrupt, very importantly, while Klaw schemes for 2, attacks for 1. When Klaw attacks, you get an additional boost card. So Klaw's attacking for 1 and 2 cards. And because we're playing on Expert, there are some bigger boost icons, and there are a bunch of 3 boost icon cards in Klaw's set, but there's also a bunch of those star icons. And I think the common one you want to play around says if it does damage, exhaust you. I think that's the one that catches you out the most. But yeah, we'll be blocking or just taking it to our face a fair bit. Now, the side schemes, we have Defense Network. Not much going on here. Doesn't really have active techs, has 3 threat and a crisis, so we have to clear that before the main scheme, and the main scheme only has 6, so we have to get there quickly. And then we have the Immortal Klaw, which comes in with an acceleration, which is kind of scary, and Klaw gets plus 10 hit points, so we'll put Klaw at 28. Again, as soon as this leaves, Klaw loses 10 health, and I don't think we're going to be rushing Klaw down, so that'll go first, but the acceleration, the crisis, and the main scheme all at once is a lot of problems, and we only have 1 thwart, so let's see if we can make it make sense. That's it. Setup's relatively simple. It's back to us. We'll just give this a good shuffle because it's super sorted, and then we'll start our fight against Klaw. Cool. So we start in Alter Ego. Not that very important text. It's mostly deck building. It does says action. We can discard a card from our hand to remove a status card. That probably won't matter. I don't know if there's that much stun or confuse in this scenario. Now I'll put 1 counter here, which will be whether we're ready or not, but I'm going to put another counter underneath it. This second counter will be whether we've used our Battle Mage ability, because I tend to forget, and we want to make sure we don't forget. So otherwise we're going to mulligan. We want to be drawing into the card that says we draw a card when we do our Battle Mage ability. I forget the name right now, I'll be honest. That I think is our most important card to open up with, because it just means we have this draw engine. The one that readies us, the one that generates the wild generating staff, that's a bit more important than the reading one, but we also need to deal with Melter kind of as soon as possible. So give that a cut, and we're off. We'll draw 6. Come get me, bub. I don't think we're going to need that. That's probably in a don't keep at all camp. We don't really get the 3 healing on turn 1, so that's already a bad start. One way or another, okay, actually like maybe worth considering. This card is just that good. If we draw one of our thwart events, again, we still have a lot of thwarting to do, so it's kind of a bit silly, but drawing 3 cards is honestly sometimes just that good, especially if we're missing a card in our hand to deal with Melter. Spiritual Meditation, you always keep this one. It's also nice to know where your basic cards are because it gums up some of the other stuff, but this card is your best next 2 cards, so why mulligan it when it already mulligans 2 cards? We have a Return the Favor, another card we're not interested in playing on turn 1, so we'll get rid of that. There's a Cosmic Awareness, okay. That's really important. This will remove 3 up to 4 threat guaranteed, probably more than that. So that is an easy way to get rid of Defense Network. It costs 2, which is expensive. That's another good reason to consider one way or another. And the side schemes we can grab will have at most 4 threat. So in theory, this is like draw 3 cards. This is play 3 cards. I think we definitely keep this at a minimum, but maybe we won't keep one way or another. Last card is Make the Call. Unfortunately, that doesn't do anything because we have nothing in our bin, so we won't keep that. So these 3 we don't keep. We are definitely going to keep Cosmic and Spiritual. The question is whether we keep one way or another. My guess is maybe not. The other side schemes in this scenario, one of them has a hazard icon. One of them has, I think the other one has an acceleration. I'm not sure what the Masters of Evil one does. I think when you reveal it, it just draws a Masters of Evil. So that's probably it. But if we play this, we draw 3 cards. We also can just keep this because it's a yellow card, and discarding a yellow card, a Justice card, removes 2 threat, which is honestly not that bad. I think for that reason, we actually do keep it. The other thing we want to find is an aggression card, because an aggression card and an ally means we can deal with the Melter, and we probably want to do that as well. I don't know, we could panic play one way or another. I think it actually might be okay, so we will keep these and draw 3 more, but I could see us throwing out the one way or another. Quantum Magic, okay. Kind of cool when all your cards cost 0, because it means that we can play one way or another twice if we really want to. Hopefully we'll find something a bit more impactful. We have a Karmic Blast, that's perfect, so this means guaranteed we can knock out Melter, so that's really good. So we'll see what we do with the rest of the hand. And then we have a Cosmic Ward. This is the one that just denies when revealed on treacheries, which can be pretty important, but not our biggest priority to set up on turn 1. And it's all us. I think we're going to start here with Spiritual Meditation. And very importantly, we are in Alter Ego, still a mystic, so we can do this on both sides. So Spiritual Meditation just says draw 2, and then we can discard 1. Now, it doesn't have to be one of the cards we drew. We can discard any card. So do we want to keep a Mystic Senses? That's the card we needed, or Karmic Staff. So both build-arounds. So I think we're going to try and play the Mystic Senses. We have 2 of them in the deck, but we definitely want to play one of these, and then we throw out the yellow card. Weirdly enough, the way that we mulliganed and drew is that we only have 1 card that is not an Adam Warlock card. So if we want to fire Battle Mage, we have to discard this. That's totally fine with me. Let's just do some math here, because we still have to discard a card. So if we do 1, 2 into Mystic Senses, we throw out one way or another, we draw a card, say that we throw out the Karmic Staff. Then we're left with this, and then these cards can play Karmic Blast, which knocks out Melter. We thwart for 1. That will clear one of these. We'll probably knock out the Mortal Klaw. I think that's actually a pretty good start. Yeah, I like that a fair bit. So we'll just use one way or another as fodder. So the card we're going to discard doesn't really matter. Well, we'll just discard the Karmic Staff, and then we'll spend 2 to play Mystic Senses. Again, this card's super, super important. We want to find the second one as soon as possible, because now discarding cards just pushes us forward. We'll jump to hero mode. Before we commit to anything, we're just going to draw our cards. So Adam Warlock's ability, we can discard a Justice card to remove 2 threat from a scheme. So it's whether one of these 2 we want to get rid of first. I think we'll get rid of the Mortal Claw first. The sooner we get rid of this, the longer we can leave this thing around, because the Crisis will be less impactful if we're not adding twice as much threat a turn. And then Mystic Senses kicks in here. Again, we've used our Battle Mage ability. We'll try and remember that. Mystic Senses says after you use the Battle Mage, draw a card. We have another Karmic Blast. Oh, that's a bummer. I'd like to draw one of those later because there's a lot of big minions still in the deck, but we do have some recursion. And then we're just going to play 2 for Karmic Blast, targeting Melter. So this says deal 4 damage to an enemy and discard up to 4 cards. For every different aspect discarded, we do an additional damage. And unfortunately, basic is not an aspect. So for this to guarantee do 5 damage, we have to discard 2 cards just because there's one more basic card in our deck. So I'm going to say we're going to discard 2 cards here, and hopefully we don't hit another Mystic Senses. We got rid of Angela. We got a Warlock's Cape. Bummer to lose the Warlock's Cape, knocks out Melter. And then we're just going to thwart for 1, so we'll knock out the Mortal Claw. So we get rid of the acceleration, and Klaw technically takes 10 damage. Sort of. Down to 18, and we'll pass. Again, not that much of a setup. The first Mystic Senses is good, but we'll drop to 5. There's an Ant-Man, so we can get Ant-Man pumped up. As many extra cards we want to add to Ant-Man, gives that much more health. Doesn't care about the icon, so that's quite nice. We have a Foiled, which we could play this if we get schemed on. We have a Cosmic Ward for cancels. We want to keep one on the table just because we haven't seen some of the ruder expert cards, let alone Shadows of the Past. We have a Soul Ward. We want to get that one down as well, just because it heals us when we deck out, which is not that close. And then we have a Get Ready, which only makes sense with Ant-Man. So maybe we'll keep this for Battle Mage. We always want to make sure we're Battle Maging a card. This hand looks like we're going to Battle Mage the Foiled, because I don't think we're going to be playing Foiled here. And that's exactly how you get more value from these conditional cards. 1 threat on the main scheme. Klaw's going to attack for 1 and 2 boost cards, because that's what Klaw does. The question is whether we're going to block for 2. And my guess is actually we're not going to defend here. We can defend for 2, but if we're ready plus Foiled, we actually clear Defense Network, and that might be a bit better. We didn't draw our Skilled Investigator just yet. And then I think we're probably going to dump 2 into Ant-Man and then play Soul World. That's probably our whole turn. So I think here, yeah, we'll just take the damage. The most we could take is a lot, but we're hoping for the best. So 1, boost on this one. Uh-oh. So maybe we need to find an aggression card. We've drawn like no aggression cards so far. We've only seen Angela. The deck has a lot of aggression. So put this in play, engage with you. So it's not extra damage, but technically Weapons Runner will activate after Klaw finishes. So we are going to take a damage. And an advance, that's a good thing to lose. So we actually only take 1 damage from that attack. Not too bad. Now this Weapons Runner is going to activate because after the villain activates, then all the minions activate. So if a minion shows up during the activation of the villain, it will activate against you. So we're going to take 1 more down to 9. And then we draw 1 encounter card. Sonic Boom. Oh, this card's really annoying. I don't think we're going to pay for this. When revealed, either spend 1 of every resource or exhaust each character you control. Now we only have 1 character, so I'm not spending 3 resources to attack for 1 or thwart for 1. So we'll just go ahead and exhaust ourselves. We can still, of course, use our Battle Mage ability. That doesn't matter. So it looks like we're going to just thwart a bit, I guess, and play our Ant-Man here. So this is our hand. Again, if we want to use the leadership, it's useless if you're exhausted. So we're not going to use it. So I'm just going to use Foiled right here. And I'll discard it, targeting the side scheme. And then with Mystic Senses, we can exhaust this to draw a card. We got Wasp. Okay, so we drew 2 of our allies. Aggression Wasp needs energy icons. We only have 1 in our hand. The most health we can give Wasp is 1 health, which I don't think we want to do that. So I think this is probably an Ant-Man line, because when we play Ant-Man, we can push any amount of the extra resources into Ant-Man, and Ant-Man will have that much extra health. So if we want to play Ant-Man for 0, I think we want to play Soul World or the Cosmic Ward. I think Soul World is actually really important because we don't block a lot and we're going to need to heal for sure. You end up going through your deck a bit faster than a lot of other heroes because you have a lot of cards that discard from the top of your deck. So I think we'll play the Soul World for 1, which means we'll just give Ant-Man 2 health, which is probably good enough. So Soul World is on the table. It'll get a charge when we deck out. We use our Battle Mage. And then Ant-Man will have 2 counters because we spent 2 on Ant-Man. I'll track the counters. I wasn't going to track the counters, but we'll put 2 Pim counters here, which is equal to 2 health. Now we can activate with Ant-Man. We can just knock out the Weapons Runner. It functionally heals for 1. It's not my favorite use, but we're going to have to knock out the Weapons Runner. The thing is we have that 1 aggression card that draws cards for all the minions engaged with us. So we kind of want to leave the Weapons Runner. It's just 1 damage. The issue is like Ant-Man doesn't have a good breakpoint anywhere else on the table. Like thwarting for 2 off of either of these also kind of stinks. So we will just attack for 2, knocking out the Weapons Runner, taking 1 consequential. And we'll pass. 1 Sonic Boom out. That is a card on boost, can also exhaust you if it does damage. And we never block enough damage for that not to be relevant text. We'll drop to 5. Overwatch, that's good, at least with an extra scheme on the table. We have a Karmic Blast for damage. Expert Defense, which we might just play now. We actually could keep it and heal Ant-Man for 1 off a Battle Mage. Defiance, probably I think Expert Defense is probably better. Expert Defense gives us +3 defense, while Defiance just blocks 1 boost card. That feels a bit better when the villain only has 1 boost card, but with 2 boost cards, this could actually be not impactful. And then finally, we have a teamwork, which this is a nice, actually, board state for teamwork. We are going to be exhausted, which kind of stinks. So that's not the best case for teamwork, because in theory, that's a way to like activate Ant-Man without taking damage to Ant-Man. So maybe we actually end up, maybe we don't exhaust here. Maybe we just play Defiance instead, because then we can do teamwork. The issue is like the teamwork activation, like what are we doing? I think we'd have to do an attack, because we have to do a little bit of threat, a little bit of threat. That doesn't seem that impactful. Maybe we get a side scheme, but if that's the case, maybe we just play Defiance instead, because Defiance we can play without having to block. Well, Expert Defense requires you to block, which means we'll be exhausted. And I think with Teamwork, we actually want to be ready in the hero phase. Yeah, okay, well, this goes to 2. Claw's attacking for 1 and 2 cards. I think we're just going to take it, but we are going to Defiance one of them. You have to Defiance before the card is flipped. So I don't know which one we're going to flip. I'm going to roll a die. It's that simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll Defiance the second card. So Claw's attacking for 1 and a card we're not blocking. Okay, so that's fine. It's just 2 boosts. It's good that we know where that card is for sure, but we didn't get to block it. And so this is the one that we Defianced. So we're attacking for 3. Okay, actually really good Defiance. That's perfect. A really good Defiance. So the activation deals damage. So we don't actually flip this, so we don't get exhausted. So we take 3 damage from Klaw, 1 plus Shadows of the Past. So we're down to 6. Defiance is played. I think, yeah, if we wanted to be ready, that's really good that we got the Sonic Boom out. I think there's no more in the deck. Single encounter card. Whirlwind, okay. Whirlwind's text does not matter that much when you're playing solo. Still attacks for 2, has 6 health, but after Whirlwind attacks every other hero, which there are no other heroes at the table. So we can just kind of deal with that, hopefully. All right, deal with that, I think we can. Our hand is perfect to do Karmic Blast, Battle Mage, and that's kind of it. So Battle Mage draws a card, so should we do it first? So again, our Battle Mage options are, we've seen no aggression cards. The bottom of our deck will only be aggression cards. So we can heal 1 from Ant-Man, which is like fine. That's okay, because Ant-Man will stay around. Karmic Blast will do 6 damage, so I think that will deal with Whirlwind. So Ant-Man can heal 1. Otherwise, Teamwork doesn't do anything. It gives us +1 stats, which don't really matter. Or Overwatch will remove 2 threat. So Overwatch and Ant-Man are functionally the same. So let's just do Expert Defense. That's fun. We'll discard this to Battle Mage. Heal 1 damage from an ally. We Battle Mage, so Mystic Senses draws a card. We drew the last Mystic Senses. Oh no, that's bad. I don't want to discard this card. It's so good. Oh, luckily we don't, because I counted incorrectly. So we have 4 cards. So we'll hold on to this Mystic Senses. Having 2 is obviously very, very powerful. So we functionally have like a 6-card hand size, which means we'll just pitch 2 for Karmic Blast. I'm glad we didn't discard this. We'll target Whirlwind. And so we have to do at least 6 damage. So I'm going to just discard 4 full cards and not care. So we're trying to look for at least 2 different aspects targeting Whirlwind. So we're doing 4 damage plus 1, 2, got it. 3, whoa, okay, can we do the 4th? Can it be Justice? Never seen that. That's actually the full 8 damage, which again, you don't want to play too many neutral cards, but massive overkill for Whirlwind, but that feels good because I have not had that land in any of my testing games. Let's go. Whirlwind is super dead. There we lost the pin down. I actually really like that card. If we just pin down Whirlwind, we don't have to deal with him. We're ready. Ant-Man's ready. So we will thwart for 1, clearing Defense Network. And then Ant-Man will thwart for 2 off of this. On 6 health, we'll probably actually end up blocking with Ant-Man next round because in theory, Klaw can do that much damage. We'll see if we draw any good defense cards, but I think we've actually drawn all our defense cards besides the defense spell, the Mystic traded one, which we could just rip. We'll hold on to this and draw. 2, chase them down if we find a minion. Skilled Investigators, easy to get on the table. Grant Ward, big fan. And then we have Skilled Strike. So again, there are a lot of aggression cards at the bottom of the deck, but yeah, this is a playable hand. We will probably just throw out one of these red cards to do 2 damage. This is again where chase them down is kind of nice. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, just throw it at the villain. 1 threat here, Klaw's attacking for 1 and 2 cards. I think here for safety, we're going to deck out in about 2 rounds. So we're going to be able to heal with Soul Ward. If that's the case, actually, I think we just block ourselves. Not that Ant-Man is going to be doing much, but our activation is not worth a lot either. And I'd rather get down to low health so that when Soul World pops off, we really pop off. So I will defend here. So we're being attacked for 1 and a card, or we're blocking for 2. Sorry, 1 and 2 cards. 1, 2, 3 on exhaustion. Glad to not draw that. 4, 5, 6. Oof, under fire. So we drew 2 expert cards. That's 6 damage. We take 4 damage. We go down to 2. I think there's an encounter card that just does 2 damage to you. So yeah, we're pretty injured. So we really need that Soul World sooner than later. 1 encounter card. I thought that was the one that just does 2 damage to you. There is one that says do 2 damage. I think Klaw heals for 2 damage. It looks kind of like this, I think. Klaw attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place threat on the main scheme. So this is where we're going to have to block with Ant-Man. So Klaw's attacking again. Yeah, you know the drill here. We're going to block with Ant-Man this time. So it's 1 and 2 cards once again. 2, 3. 4/5. This is the one that does 2 damage, heals 2 damage. So Ant-Man's defeated and we survive. Okay, so we are exhausted. I don't know if we can stay up another round here. Grant Ward is really nice, but Grant Ward also will be lethal if we don't have enough mental resources in our hand. We are exhausted. Maybe we just jump down. We will deck out this round if we play at least Fire Mystic Senses once, if I've done the math correctly. So I think we play 2 Mystic Senses, we jump down. We can't recover, but we just want to stay down so Soul World will be able to heal us. Because again, when our next turn starts, we'll have decked out. So we can just tap that button and get all our value. So if that's the case, I think we'll just start by playing one. I think we won't play Grant Ward just for safety because it could go bad. And we'll play a second copy of Mystic Senses. I'm going to stack them with 2 different buttons. And so now whenever we discard Battle Mage, we can draw 2 cards, which is really quite good. And so we'll chase them down. So we'll discard this to do 2 damage to Klaw, or first damage, but the damage will get there. And then we can exhaust both of these to draw 2 cards. We get Strength in Numbers, which is totally useless, and Quantum Magic, which actually is quite playable here. This is what I love with this, is now with Quantum Magic, it costs 1. So we can grab any 0-cost card, which is nearly every 0-cost card, and it's up to us to figure out what the best card is. We actually could grab a 1-cost card, so we could grab the one that cancels an activation, Cosmic Ward. That actually might be even better here, because I don't think playing Skilled Investigator is super important, but having Cosmic Ward is really important, because there is that encounter card that just says you die, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen. We've seen a lot of the bad encounter cards. We've seen a couple of the expert ones. I think, have we seen an advance yet? We've seen 1 advance, and we've seen shadows, so like the encounter cards are not the worst, but it's probably responsible here just to grab a Cosmic Ward. So I think we will. We'll play Quantum Magic. This is also an action. You can play an alter ego. That's kind of cool. So choose a card in your discard pile, add it to your hand. Let's see if there's anything better. I don't think there is. I don't think we're going to grab one of the 2-cost setup cards, like the staff or the other one. Yeah, that's fine. And we'll just pitch Skilled Investigator. Again, there's only 2 side schemes left in the deck because we started with 2 of them. I think there's only 4 in the deck. Maybe it's 5. And we'll just play Cosmic Ward. Cool. Now I think we've done it. So we can flip down. And then an alter ego will pass. We'll drop to 6, which means we should be able to full heal next round because I think we're decking out here. Cosmic Awareness, that's good because there'll be a lot of threat. There's the Bring It, which draws cards based off the minions. We have Turn the Tide, which actually might line up perfectly with Cosmic Awareness. We have the Shield spell, unfortunately useless. And then the last card is Pip the Troll. So that is 5 cards. We need to shuffle and draw 1 more. Very importantly, when we deck out, of course, 2 things happen. So we get an extra encounter card, but this gets 1 counter. It's a soul counter. And now we can alter ego exhaust this to heal damage. And again, this now is recovering 9. It's kind of like Deadpool-esque if you can time it. And again, ripping through your deck is makes us go faster. It's like surprisingly fun engine. Our 0-costers are flying. This deck is a bit better than I thought it would be, which is kind of a treat. Okay. 1 more. We get Make the Call. I'm totally useless here. I guess we could discard Pip the Troll and get it back. But yeah, that's an ugly time to draw that card when you have no cards in your bin. All right. Villain goes to 2. We could advance here. It's always a case. You know what? Actually, in hindsight, another thing that we could have done is we could have played Quantum Magic and we could have got foiled, and we could have held on to foiled because foiled will basically say that we can't advance here. At the end of the day, if we advance, it's not that bad. I think we just get a minion. The minion's actually not awful because we have a Bring It in hand. But yeah, there was another line where we grab foiled instead because that's the perfect card to have in hand when you're jumping down. So Klaw is scheming for 2 and a card. Only a single boost. Star boost. Tiger Shark, I think, discards a card. Oh, give the villain a tough status card. That's totally fine. So that's only 2 more threat. This goes up to 4. That is perfect. We can threat for 4, no problem. Now, 2 encounter cards. Cosmic Ward doesn't care if you're a hero or not. So we can remember to fire this in alter ego. First card, Radioactive Man. Uh-oh. Big guy. 7 health is the biggest in the set. And after Radioactive Man attacks you, discard a random card from your hand. There's no 7 die, so we'll do 52. You know what it means. And then we have Caught Off Guard, which, I mean, we can Cosmic Ward it, or we can let it discard Cosmic Ward. On the record, we will prevent this from firing with Cosmic Ward, just so we feel like we're in control. So we canceled that. Totally different resolution than letting it fire. And now it's back to us. We'll just start really quickly with Soul Worlding, and we'll just put ourselves back up to 11 health. Okay, we got to plan our turn out. So our hand here, we could do Turn the Tide. The question is, what are we discarding? Turn the Tide can do 3 damage to Radioactive Man. If we attack, that's 4 damage, but we're short 3 more damage. We could play Bring It, which draws a card, but it actually might be better just to throw Bring It at Radioactive Man, because not only does that draw a card, it does 2 damage and draws 2 cards. So I think that's the case. I think that's almost definitely it. We're hoping to draw another red card with this. The one that gives us Skilled Strike that gives us +2 attack would be perfect, but we just need to do a bit more damage to Radioactive Man. So we'll flip up. We'll Battle Mage. So we'll discard a red card and we'll do 2 damage to an enemy. and that means both Mystic Senses fire. We draw Expert Defense, which is useless, and a Cosmic Awareness, which is also not a great time for that. So the most damage we can do to this is unfortunately 4. We're 1 damage short on Radioactive Man. I guess Pip the Troll will do it. Yeah. So we'll just pitch any 2 cards. We'll do Make the Call and a Cosmic for this Cosmic. Remove 3 threat from a scheme and discard up to 4 cards. So I'm going to discard 2 cards here. Show of Empathy and Teamwork. Okay. So we remove 5 threat, which clears the main. Now we did thwart, so we can turn the tide. So after your hero thwarts, and that is us, we can do 2 damage. And then I think we just play Pip for 2. Now this sucks because we lose the toughness. If we want to knock out Radioactive Man, I think we do. Radioactive Man says after he attacks, you discard a random card from your hand. Maybe we can just take 1 damage and lose a card. I don't know how good this toughness is. Maybe the toughness is worth protecting here. Maybe it is. But Pip comes in with 2 health and toughness. You can play it during the villain phase, which is nice when you're going to be attacked. Adam Warlock will just attack for 1. We did Battle Mage. Maybe I don't need that counter. I'm remembering. So either we can attack with 1 with Pip the Troll and then lose the toughness, or we can take 1 and lose a card. Losing a card's not super important. Yeah, I'd rather just lose the card. We'll pass. We'll just play Pip, and that's it. Drop to 5. Defiance, nice. I don't think we have to use that if we have Pip to block. There's the Skilled Strike we wanted. Karmic Staff is worth getting down. Skilled Investigator's back as well, and we have one way or another. We don't have a lot of threat in our hand, but if we do one way or another into Skilled Investigator, that draws a fair bit. This draws 3 cards, so we're likely to find something. But the bigger bummer here is that we've played both copies of Cosmic Awareness, or they're in our bin, which means we have very few ways to do a mass threat besides throwing yellow cards at the villain. This goes to 1. Klaw's attacking for 1 and 2 cards. We'll block with Pip. No boost on Assault. Regeneration Cycle is our obligation that has 2 boosts, so Pip the Troll takes the toughness. Now Radioactive Man's going to attack. So there's 1 card in our hand I think we really want. Actually, maybe 2. The Radioactive Man going to attack you. We'll just take it. And then we have to discard a card randomly from our hand. We'll shuffle a bit. We'll roll a die. 1 is left. 5 is right. So 2. We lose. No, that was one of the ones we wanted. That's a unique card that generates a wild, which again, 0 cost cards, but still you do have all of the Adam Warlock cards. Gang Up. Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's really bad. I play a lot more standard 3. I forget how bad Gang Up can be in the wrong situation. This is definitely the wrong situation because we're going to lose another card from our hand. If we lose it one way or another, we're cooked. So we got really punished for this. Okay, well, Klaw's attacking for 1 and 2 cards. I think here we will actually block because our activation is not super important. It knocks out Radioactive Man, I guess, unless we lose a Skilled Strike. It's either we lose the Skilled Strike or the one way or another. If we lose the one way or another, though, we'll keep the Skilled Strike. If we lose a Skilled Strike, hopefully we'll draw in another way to do 1 damage. I guess that's my read. So we're defending 2 for 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll take 2 damage and then 1 more from Radioactive Man, which causes us to do a random net damage. 1 on left, 4 on right. 2, we lose the Skilled Investigator. That's fine. Right. Oof, that was bad. Still relatively healthy though. So we want to fire Mystic Senses. I think we throw the Skilled Strike and see what happens. Yeah, because we can't use this, so we'll throw it. So we'll throw an aggression card targeting Radioactive Man. So that does 2 damage to an enemy, knocking out Radioactive Man. And of course, 2 Mystic Senses, we draw 2 cards. Damage and Angela. Okay. Are we feeling brave enough to play one way or another? I don't know. There are 2 schemes left, I think. One of them grabs the Masters of Evil, which actually Karmic Blast lines up with well. The other one has a hazard icon and has 4 threat, which we're not able to deal with. I think we have it, so we should play it. So we'll play one way or another. So we search and counter and discard pile. I just want to make sure we haven't discarded one of those yet as a boost card. No, we haven't. I think there's 2 schemes left. We'll take the one that grabs a Masters of Evil because we can nuke a Masters of Evil with our Karmic Blast. So the other option is we Karmic Blast Klaw, but with the toughness, it feels like a pretty bad use. Okay, a lot of small minions left in the deck, all the armored guards and the weapons runner. So again, we have Illegal Arms Factory. That's 4 threat and a hazard. I don't love that. And the other one is the Masters of Evil, which has an acceleration. That's kind of bad, but I think we can deal with this text a bit better. So that's the Masters of Evil. We reveal it, as one way or another says, yeah, not put in play, reveal. Does discard cards from the top of the counter deck until a Masters of Evil minion is discarded. Wait, do we even have any in the deck before we commit to this? No, we don't. So I'm not going to pick that because that discards the whole deck. We get an acceleration icon. So I didn't realize that. So I guess we're getting the Legal Arms Factory. I really hate what we've done to ourselves. So I think the only way out of this that feels good is that we draw the Quantum Recursion card and then use that to grab our card that removes threat. Because yeah, we just grabbed the Legal Arms Factory. Bummer. Yeah, the deck has no Masters of Evil, so it would rip through the whole deck, and then we get an acceleration, and we don't have to get the less bad encounter cards. So that's in play, has 4 threat, has a hazard. It's not good. but at least one way or another we'll fire now. And so we draw 3 cards. So hopefully we find some way to do threat. Get ready. Chase them down. Warlock's Cape. We can set up, but honestly pretty bad. Not great. Okay, so Angela can go grab a minion. We're definitely going to play Angela because I think all the minions left are pretty small. So Angela can just trade for a weapons runner. So we'll play Angela and we look at the top 10 of the deck, which I think the deck is about 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we don't look at this one. So we should be able to get, by definition, just a little weapons runner. And the big thing about Angela is that she puts it into play. She doesn't reveal it. So this weapons runner, its text is not relevant because Surge only happens when it's revealed, which the reminder text on the core set does remind you. So she can knock that out. I wish we could knock it out because if we knock it out, we'd be able to fire chase them down. I don't know if we have any damage in our hand. I don't think we do. So weapons runner, 2 health. Oh, no, we do. Yeah, we might actually just Karmic Blast this so we can do the threat. Maybe we don't. Karmic Blast is a bit of a waste. We can get ready, Pip the Troll. Angela can knock out Weapons Runner. Pip the Troll can thwart for 1, and then we can block. And then we can play the Warlock's Cape at a minimum. That'd be nice. Like, it's good to have the Warlock's Cape. Again, we're not playing the upgrades that boost your stats, which you can easily do. You can play, like, Armored Vest, and you can play Assault Training. I think that's what it's called. The ones from the core set. And then, like, being ready is a bit more important. You can play Repurpose. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. So, Angela. We'll just knock out the Weapons Runner, taking 1 consequential. Then we'll play Get Ready. So ready an ally, we'll just ready Pip, because then Pip will take 1 consequential, thwarting for 1. We'll just slowly work on this. And then we will pitch 1. Probably want to keep some damage, so we'll keep the Karmic Blast, and we'll play the, play the Warlock's Cape. So we can't fire this because we've already done our thing, but that is the game plan, of course. And then we'll just pass, and hopefully we survive 2 encounter cards here. I think we've seen most of the bad encounter cards. There's 1 more advance that we have to watch out for. That's it. We'll hold on to this. Draw. Grant Ward's back. Come get me, bub, if we want to get... actually, the minions are pretty weak, so we can take 3 health and a toughness. Pin down's pretty good. As much as we can't pin down a guard, that doesn't make any sense, so maybe not a good time to draw it. And Overwatch works out really well because there are 2 schemes, and they'll both have a bit of threat here. So this goes to 2, and then Klaw is attacking for 1 and 2 cards. We'll block with Pip the Troll. There's the advance, so no damage. 1 damage attack knocks out Pip the Troll. Feels bad, but at least we got rid of those 2 encounter cards. Now, speaking of 2 encounter cards, Hazard. So 2 encounter cards. I think we're going to get a bunch of guards. Yep. Armored Guard, 3 health, toughness, and guard. So it's actually pretty awkward. We have a lot of ways to do 2 damage. Sound Manipulation. Oh, this is the one that does 2 and heals 2. So take 2 damage. Can't interact with that. And then heal 2 from Klaw. So Klaw goes up to 18. So we've done no damage to Klaw. We're just getting powered up though, right? We're just building up. We're going to end up with an acceleration. Klaw does go through the deck, but hey, we're more powerful than we've ever been. Back to us. So we can take the toughness off. We want to clear Legal's Arm Factory, which means the only way we can do that is with ourself and throwing out a yellow card. But we want to play the yellow card because it's Overwatch, and Overwatch is pretty good here. When any amount of threat is removed from an attached scheme by a thwart. Oh, by a thwart. Okay, so we don't care about that. So we can't just throw this out. So we need to use ourself first. So I'm going to Adam Warlock, and we'll just thwart for 1 off of this, just to deal with that. Because now we're going to throw this out using our Battle Mage ability. So that takes 2 threat off of a scheme. So we clear Illegal's Arm Factory. And then we have a couple triggers here. Firstly, we draw 2 cards from our Mystic Senses. So we draw into Wasp, which will see our energy count, and Strength in Numbers, which if we don't need Angela, but we probably will. No energy. Damn it, Wasp. And then finally, we have Warlock's Cape. We're only getting more powerful. So now after we do Battle Mage, we can ready ourselves, which again, our stat, we'll just take the tough off the Armored Guard. Yeah, bummer that we drew Wasp. I do think we have the least amount of energy out of anything else. So it's not lining up perfectly, but yeah, this is definitely not the hand. I think we actually do play Come Get Me, Bub, because I think we get an Armored Guard, and an Armored Guard attacks for 1. I think that's totally fine. Doesn't feel great, but totally fine. So we're going to just attack for 1 to take this toughness off. We can't attack Klaw as much as we leave the Armored Guards. So let's do a Come Get Me, Bub. So discard cards from the counter deck until you discard a minion. Easy. Again, we did see the deck. I think there's 3 of them left over. We weren't guaranteed to get one that fast, but we got there. Again, Armored Guard, 3 health and toughness. Now the rest of Come Get Me, Bub gives us a toughness, which is nice. And then we heal 3, which again, we're going to be decking out in, I think, 2 turns with Soul Ward. So it's like not the most important, but it eats 1 Klaw attack activation. So pretty good. Okay, we'll drop Grant Ward, who is free. Got to watch out about his text. It's nicer when you have the staff that generates a wild for this. Can't defend. So Wasp is useless. We've already Battle Maged. Excuse me. I think I'm just going to forget that. So I think we Karmic Blast here. We get Strength in Numbers, but I don't think we do. So we'll target this Armored Guard, and we'll Karmic Blast. Grant Ward can thwart for 2. Angela can work on the toughness. I think we actually just strengthen numbers to see one more card. I don't know what card we could draw that would be better, but I think we actually do strengthen numbers here. So we're just going to exhaust Angela to draw 1, because Angela's activation will just take the tough off, which doesn't feel like a good use of Angela. So we'll just exhaust her to draw. It's a looking for trouble. Okay, I don't think we're going to play that, so it's totally fine. So then we'll do Karmic Blast. We'll target the one that isn't tough. We're not going to discard any cards, so it just does 4 damage, knocking out this card. Eventually, we're going to be doing these to the villain, for sure. Grant Ward will thwart for 2 to remember his text during the main scheme. And then I'm just going to pin down this Armored Guard. Not my favorite thing, but it's here. It just heals us 1. We'll deal with the Armored Guard soon because it does have guards, so Klaw is safe. But that just means that it won't be able to attack us. And then hopefully we'll defeat this, and then it'll go back into the deck because it's a really nice thing to attach to a Masters of Evil. And then we'll pass. Drop to 5. Another Karmic Blast. That's great. Call for aid. We need to figure out where the last Ant-Man is. We'll see if we draw into it. That's the only card I can get. Spiritual Meditation. Nice. More draw. Another damage card. And then we have the Cosmic Ward, which we do want to get down because we're about to deck out. And so canceling 1 of 2 encounter cards, that's usually pretty good. This goes to 1. We have a toughness, so we won't block. Klaw is attacking for 1 and 2 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Losing Master Plan is great. And a big old boost there. So we lose a toughness. Armored Guard now attacks for -1. We don't heal. We just take no damage. And we draw 1 encounter card. Sonic Converter. Okay, well, this is one of the big boosts. It's 3 boosts, but instead it attaches to Klaw. And after a Klaw attacks and damages a character, stun that character. We don't want that. Technically, stun's not that bad, but I don't think we want that. So here we only have 1 card to play, which will give us +1 stats, which is really awkward because the timing here just kind of stinks, right? Like you technically want to activate twice with +1 stats, but you can't make it make sense. Because if we discard this to Battle Mage, that is the window that we have to ready ourselves with the cape. So it will end up like attacking for 1, attacking for 2. You can't attack for 2, attack for 2. It just doesn't make sense. So regardless, we'll start with the Spiritual Meditation. I think would be okay finding an aggression card here. Foiled. Okay. Ant-Man. Nice. Ant-Man's actually really good. We have to discard 1 card from our hand. I think it'll probably be the Call for Aid. Yeah, I think it is because we can't really use it. So then we draw 2 cards if we throw out the foiled, which we will. So we'll just use our ability to throw out. Oh, actually, first we'll attack for 1 because we're going to ready. So we'll take the toughness off. We didn't, importantly, with Grant Ward, reveal a treachery, which is good. And now we'll use our Battle Mage ability to remove 2 threat, which clears this. So we ready and we draw 2 cards. We draw Quantum Magic and return the favor. Okay, so this might be the time that when we deck out, if we're going to hop down anytime soon, which 8th health we might not, we could grab a foiled, but this Quantum Magic means we can grab anything. We also have the setup where we can grab the thing that cancels encounter cards. We have the Cosmic Ward, and with Cosmic Ward, return the favor means that it's not a problem. The thing is, like, we only have 2 cards left in the deck, and if none of these are treachery, return the favor does nothing, which we need to watch out for. Okay, playing a big Ant-Man seems fine. We're at the point where we're going to start sending good damage. I think this is maybe the turn where that starts to happen. So I think we'll just attack with both of these. Or, well, no, that's not it. We'll attack us for 1. And then Angela will attack, knocking out the Armored Guard. I guess Grant Ward will just take off the toughness. Oh, we need to remove that Sonic Converter, don't we? Yeah, we do. Which means we get rid of Ant-Man. Oh, that stinks. Yeah, I don't think we can afford to have this thing around. So we'll throw out blue, yellow, red as a hero. We'll discard that. We're going to deck out this round. So our options are either throw a bunch of damage. I think with this, we can go get a 0 coster with Quantum Magic and just play the Cosmic Ward. So we'll play the Cosmic Ward. And now we have to answer the daunting question. Oh, we can't play this. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just throw it out. I think if anything, we'll actually hold on to the Karmic Blast because we need damage. We'll pick the Quantum Magic for the Cosmic Ward. And we'll pass. So we have 2 allies that are going to miss the deck out, but that's fine because we have to make the calls. And we'll hold on to the Karmic Blast because we need to start sending some real damage. And we'll pass. So we draw up second card, which is a Quantum Magic. Terrible time to draw that. Soul World gets a counter. And we get another encounter card. Then we shuffle and we'll draw 3 more cards. We've got through the setup stage for sure. So now we're going to start doing big damage. Again, we have 2 for 8 if we're lucky. So I think we only need a couple more turns here. We'd like to get the Wild Resource Center. It's very funny. Even with 0 cost cards, like you end up having to make some hard decisions sometimes. But I don't think we've played 6 0 costers in a single turn yet. Okay, we get Come Get Me Bub, maybe. Skilled Strike. Okay, extra damage. We like that. And then our last card is Defiance, which we could just play here if we wanted to, because that means we have a red or a green card for our Battle Mage, and that seems kind of fine. All right, this gets 1. Klaw's attacking for 1 and 2 cards. Oh, we deck out. So these cards are going to miss the cycle, but we do get the acceleration, which is kind of scary. But Klaw does do that faster than some other villains. We're not that slow. We have to remember Grant Ward's text very importantly. Revealing 2 cards this round means it's very likely Grant Ward will do something bad for us, which means we need to hold on to that come get me bub. There's a chance Grant Ward will betray us because we reveal 2 encounter cards. We don't have two mental resources in our hand right now. All right, everything that we were scared of is back in the deck, but this is 1 more boost card, so we're being attacked for 1 and 2 boosts. The most this could be is 7 damage. I think we'll Defiance one of these and we'll just take it unblocked. So I'll Defiance. So before we flip, we'll do 1, 2, 3's the left. We're gonna not flip this card. So we're taking 1. Ah, the bad one again. Damn, we lost this roll. So if this activation deals damage to your hero, exhaust your hero. That's a bummer. It's okay, we're ready. So the one we did cancel is 1 boost. Beans. So that's actually only 1 damage. So that's still not the worst, but could have been better. And then we draw 2 encounter cards. First encounter card, not a treachery, the Masters of Evil. Okay, so we'll have an enemy. So when revealed, comes in with an acceleration and 3 threat. Discard cards until you get a Masters of Evil minion put into play. Whirlwind right off the top. This is where I would love to be able to pin Whirlwind down. Whirlwind's text again, not super relevant when you play solo, but still just 6 health, attacks for 2. Second card, also not a treachery, but this does have Surge. 2 health, Surge when revealed. Okay, that is a treachery, so we have to deal with that. Sound manipulation, take 2 damage, Klaw heals 2. Bummer. So Klaw is at full health, at least we're down to 5. And now with Grant Ward, I think we're going to spend our resource here. So we're going to spend our Come Get Me Bub to keep Grant Ward in check. Okay, a lot of things going on here. None of them great. Quantum Magic has access to 2 kind of useless cards, as much as Come Get Me Bub is kind of playable. Oh, do we want to cancel Sound Manipulation? I don't think we do. Yeah, it's just 2 damage. We definitely don't cancel that. Very importantly, Cosmic Ward doesn't like stop the card from being revealed. So you still have to worry about Grant Ward. It just stops the when revealed effect. So you still also have to do like things like Surge. So this hand looks bad, and it is kind of because it is. So we can do 1 of 2 things. Either, well, we'll Karmic Blast Whirlwind for sure. So I think we have to do what we have to do is which will Skill Strike, and we'll just target Weapons Runner. So it does 2 damage, knocks out the Weapons Runner, but more importantly, it does all our other stuff. So knocked out, we're ready, and then we draw 2 cards. 1, Cosmic Awareness is perfect. We have the Show of Empathy, which is our side scheme. So 2 of our allies plus Adam can do 5 damage, which is not enough to knock out Whirlwind. So either we go grab a Quantum Magic for a Skilled Strike, but then we can't play any of these cards. I think this will be adding 3 around, which is not great. We definitely want to use Grant Ward as soon as we can so that we're not scared. So the other thing we can do is Karmic Blast Whirlwind, use Grant Ward to thwart for 2, and then we can also clear Masters of Evil. That's probably better. And then we just do Angela. We keep Angela for a block. Yeah, that's probably a line. And we can just play this to get on the field so that when we draw the Master Plan, which is on the Expert set, it'll just add threat to this, which is like kind of whatever. So yeah, we'll pitch 2. Karmic Blast. So the question is, what is the least amount of cards we can discard to consistently do 6 damage? I don't know. I'm just going to discard 4. So this can do anywhere between 4 and 8 damage. 5 damage. Whiff. Annoying whiff too. 6 damage, that's enough. Okay, perfectly 6 damage. We lost our staff, which we really wanted that. So that does 6 damage, knocking our Whirlwind. Now Grant Ward will thwart for 2 and will thwart for 1, which will clear the Masters of Evil. Keep that in check. Again, I think almost all the minions are back in the deck. And we'll just play Show of Empathy. There's nothing else we can do with it. A really weird card, comes in with 6 threat. And when you take threat off of it, you can put it on a minion. And if that minion has equal threat to its remaining health, it becomes an ally and has 1 consequential. And instead of scheme, it becomes thwart. So it works the way that you think it does. And I think we'll just keep Angela for a chump block here and we'll pass. All right, drawing up Ant-Man, that's good. Quantum Magic, so we can grab back the staff if we really want to. It's a bit convoluted. Wasp, so we'll count the energy icons. So far we're at 2. Another Cosmic Ward. And then Teamwork. We actually have a lot of Wasp icons. We can do a big Wasp at the cost of a big Ant-Man. Now the thing is, we want to discard a card to do our Mystic Senses Warlock's cape thing. So maybe we Ant-Man ourselves, and then we just get a big Wasp. That might be it. Let's see what happens here. This goes to 3. Angela will jump in the way of Klaw and 2 boosts. So attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4. She is knocked out. Single encounter card, which we can cancel if it's bad. And we will. That's advance, which probably advances. So we'll just jump in the way with Cosmic Ward, which we have another one in our hand if we really want to set it up. So this just cancels when revealed. I'll be honest, the first couple of games I played with Adam Warlock, I thought this was an event. I didn't realize it was an upgrade. I don't think the frame is that different. It is actually a bit different because the text is on the side, but I totally thought it was an event of like, I don't like this thing. I don't want to hold it in my hand. And then of course, as an upgrade, it's hella good, especially because you can play an alter ego. And it's back to us, clear board state. We can start sending that damage. So again, Wasp, we have what we need. The other options we do Ant-Man. We'll be thwarting for 2 ourselves, which does keep afloat. So I think that's what we'll do. So we're going to thwart for 1. Then we'll throw out Ant-Man, which I don't love doing this, but make the call will be set up. And that means that we can choose ourselves, which is the only choice, to give ourselves +1 to all the stats, not for the phase, but for the round. So we do defend for 3, which is nice. Now, of course, now that readies us, which is a bit awkward because we can't use our boosted stat twice. And then we draw 2 cards here. So we draw Make the Call, okay, and Strength of Numbers, awkward draws. Now we'll play Wasp, and then we'll pitch up to 3 energy. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. Maybe that's greedy. I think it is greedy. I think we'll only do 2 because I'd rather play the Cosmic Ward. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do 2. That's a big difference. But playing the Cosmic Ward here feels so good because we're wasting these cards. Yeah, I think we'll do 2. So that puts 2 counters on it. So she has 2 health. Doesn't feel great, but she'll attack straight away for 3. Then we'll pitch. We'll hold on to Make the Call. We'll pitch Strength and Numbers to play Cosmic Ward. We just got rid of one of these so we can ensure that we don't get a bad boost here. We have 3 defense, so we'll probably defend, and we'll just thwart for 2 now, which will knock down this. And then we'll pass. We'll hold Make the Call because it gets Ant-Man. I think that's probably worth something. We'll get Turn the Tide, which might be relevant. A Call for Aid, which has no Avengers. They're all on the table or in our discard pile. We have a Pip, which maybe we actually play here. And then we have a Bring It, which that's a good card to discard because it's 2 damage. So this goes to 2. Claw's attacking for 1 and 2 cards. So if we want to play Pip, not the Pug, the Troll, says you can spend energy and mental. So Make the Call and Turn the Tide. I think that's totally acceptable. Yeah. So if Troll's in your hand, he gains interrupt when a player is attacked. Spend these icons to put it into play, and then we can exhaust Pip the Troll, and Pip the Troll will be a blocker with toughness. So exhausting to block. It's a nice way to use toughness immediately. So 1 and 2 boost cards, 2, 3, 4, the second advance. So toughness comes off, and that's that. We draw 1 encounter card. We did waste our +1 stat, but yeah, that's an okay way to use this hand. Smelter. Okay, we're gonna need some damage here, but I think we have enough damage. 5 health on Melter. You must defend with an ally if you can. Okay, so we can either draw a card with Bring It, or we can throw it to do 2 damage and draw 2 cards. That means Call for Aid can buff us. Bring It plus Wasp knocks out Melter. What happens if we just draw unplayable hand? Yeah, that's not good. That's not great. We're going to be drawing a lot of cards, though. We probably should find something. So this is actually an interesting choice, right? We could throw a Call for Aid, which gives us +1. So then we could do like Thwart for 1, Thwart for 2, which is useless. So we could Thwart for 1, attack for 2. That's technically the same as throwing this out, right? Because this just attacks for 2, right? Like, oh man, why is this not intuitive? This should be so intuitive, right? So if we do Bring It and we play it, we draw a card. Then we throw a Call for Aid. We'll have 3 cards in our hand after that, and we'll have +1 stat. So we thwart for 1, and then we can attack for 2. So we did 3 damage. If we throw up Bring It, we can attack for 1, do 2 damage, attack for 1, which is kind of useless. So I actually think I'm going to play Bring It. Yeah, I'm going to play Bring It. And hopefully it just draws us into a more impactful card. So this draws 1 card. Great. And now it begins. We'll Spiritual Meditation to draw 2, discard 1. Okay, that's fine. Karmic Blast. I think we don't need that. We have to discard 1 of these cards. So actually discard the Call for Aid. Does that mean we can knock out Melter? Yeah, it does. Okay. And now I will attack Klaw for 1. So Klaw takes 1 damage down to 14. And then I'll throw at Skilled Investigator targeting the main scheme, which readies us and draws 2 cards. Wait, why was that the play? That was terrible. It's okay. It'll be fine. That was not the play in hindsight. Because I realized we don't have enough damage for Melter. I thought we would have +1 stat. It's okay. We'll figure it out. So I guess we Karmic Blast Melter and then attack with Wasp. Yeah, that's okay. We could have returned the favorite here. Yeah, I did the math wrong. I thought we'd have +1 stat, but that's only if we use this for our Battle Mage. If we use the leadership card for Battle Mage. All right, well that's okay. That means we can attack for 4. Yeah, it's not that big of a difference. So we'll just play Karmic Blast. This is where having a research generator would be good. So we need to do at least 1 damage. I think we know where all our basic cards are, so we can only discard 1 card here. Yeah, Grant Ward is there. We played Cosmic. We just played Spiritual. So we'll discard 1 card, targeting Melter. We discarded Expert Defense, so that does 5 damage. Actually, if we know what's the rest of our deck, we can decide whether we want to burn through it or not. We are going to not deck out this round. A Wasp will attack for 3, and then we will attack for 1. Wasp is defeated. And we'll pass. We're doing it. We're doing damage. I really wish we sent that blast into Claw instead of the minion. Okay. We'll pass. We'll drop. We should jump down. Is this the turn to jump down, actually? To be able to Soul World? Claw's going to be attacking for somewhere around 5 damage if we block for 2. I just want to check where our foiled is. That's the 1 card that makes it really comfortable to jump down here. Oh, the foil is actually in our next 6 cards. So I don't think it's guaranteed we'll draw it. Oh no, we'll guarantee to draw it if we jump down because I think there's 6 cards left in our deck. So this is actually a good time to jump down before we pass. Because again, we have Are we gonna do one of those 6 of 7s again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 cards, so the foiled will be in here. And there it is. That's perfect. Because foiled, we can play in alter ego, and it just means that we won't advance. Because it says when a boost card is turned face up during an activation, cancel the boost icons. So Soul World will get a counter. We deck out. We get 1 encounter card, and the villain will go now. This goes to 2. Claw Schemes for 2 and a card. We can cancel an advance, but I think we know where all the advances are. So 2 and a card is Star Boost. So this is not a boost icon, so we just have to do Tiger Shark's text. Just give it toughness. Okay, so this goes to 4 of 6, and we have 2 encounter cards. First card, second card. First, Regeneration Cycle. Okay, this is fine. It just exhausts us. So give to Adam Warlock. Either discard the top 5 cards of your deck, place 1 threat for the main scheme for each different aspect. I don't want to do that, so we'll just exhaust our alter ego and remove this from the game. Second card, Armored Guard. That's annoying because we got 2 toughness this round, so 3 health guard. Don't love it, but we'll be able to deal with that. Need to do more damage, and it's back to us. We can always pin it down. We have a Karmic Blast. We have a Chase Down. So we have a fair bit of... We have a bit of thwarting. We would love to draw into our big thwart card. We'll definitely Soul World here to exhaust, to heal ourselves. So we're up at 11. And then we'll flip up. So we want to start with the Mystic Senses, but I think if that's the case, we can just one way or another, and we'll probably draw something good. Yes. With Pip and Foiled, we should be able to clear a couple of the side schemes. So we'll start with one way, and we'll just search the deck for a side scheme. I think we have an option. Defense Network might not be in here anymore, which is the easiest to deal with. Okay, we have 2 options. 3 threat and 4 threat. 3 threat's just good enough for us. We add 10 health and has an acceleration. So Claw's up on 20, 3 threat. And of course, when we get rid of this, Claw loses that 10 health. Okay, give that a cut. We'll just strain this up a wee bit. All right, now, of course, before we forget, one way or another, we draw 3 cards. So we get a Skilled Strike. That actually lines up well. We get a Cosmic Ward. Love it. And then we have a Defiance. That's okay. So we want to clear this, which I think we just throw the foiled at it. We want to knock out the Armored Guard, which I think we can do. So we actually have a lot of cool interactions. This is what's really fun to have a hand of this size. And I think we'll be able to Karmic Blast Claw. I'm not convinced exactly. Oh yeah, with Pip, we might be able to take off the toughness as well. The toughness is going to suck a bit. All right, let's figure this out. I think we foiled the Claw. So we're going to throw out the foiled with our Battle Mage ability, take 2 threat off of this. We draw 2 cards, and now we're ready. So we draw Ant-Man, very good. And Grand Ward, also very quite playable, as 0-costers tend to be. We will use Pip the Troll, attack for 1 to take the toughness off, taking 1 consequential. And then we'll do an attack. Yeah, I think we have to do the attack. So if that's the case, maybe we just Karmic Blast it. Because the thing with Chase Them Down is you want to defeat it, but you have to defeat it as your hero. So either an event or an attack or an upgrade, but upgrades are not really an option here. So either we can just send the Karmic Blast or we can attack with Skilled Strike. But then the Mortal Claw, yeah, it's okay. We'll attack for 1 and we'll play Skilled Strike. So that does 3 damage, which knocks out the Armored Guard. And then when we knock it down, we'll chase it down. So we can remove 2 threat from a scheme. We'll just knock it off this so we don't advance. Okay, we do want to get rid of the acceleration. So I think that's a Grant Ward job. So we'll play Grant Ward. Really want our staff to keep Grant Ward sated, but we're going to have to pay the hard way. So it comes in with 3 health. And Grant Ward will just immediately activate to take a consequential to clear the Mortal Claw. Claw takes 10 damage. Massive damage. Down to 10. Okay. So now we can juice Ant-Man. I think we can do a lot of things here. So the question is, what else do we play? Karmic Blast would be nice. So Ant-Man can take the toughness off. We could also use Pip to take the toughness off. I think actually we want to get ready Grant Ward because using Grant Ward as fast as possible is actually a benefit. So we don't have to deal with the text. So we will get ready. We'll just ready Grant Ward and Grant Ward will attack again to take the toughness off. Now that opens up the way that we can Karmic Blast, which can do up to 8 damage, and we need that 8 damage. That's going to cost us 2, so then we can just play Cosmic Awareness and just discard Ant-Man, which I think is kind of fine. The other options, we can play like a 1 Ant-Man, which is kind of silly, but I think we just want to do damage. So I'll spend 2 on Karmic Blast. I'll target Claw, and I'll discard the full 4 cards. So we're looking for that full different 4. So 4, 5, whiff, 6, whiff. Bummer. 6 damage to Claw. This is one of those weird decks where it actually kind of incentivizes you in some way to play more aspect cards and play like a bigger deck size, because then these cards get a bit more consistent as much as they're harder to see them consistently. We also lost an awareness, which I don't love, but Claw's down to 4 health. Then I think we'll just play a second copy of Cosmic Awareness, which will pay off later. I guess we could hold on, but we'll probably block here with Pip the Troll and go on our way. Threat is a bit of an issue. Losing that awareness there wasn't my favorite. Drop Wasp, okay. No energy icons, but more damage. Energy icon. Energy icon. Strength in numbers, okay. So that's 5 cards. This goes to 4. Claw's attacking for 1 and 2 cards will put Pip in the way. I think the block is better than attack for 1, thwart for 1. So 2 boost cards. No damage, 3 damage. Lost an assault. We might actually deck out twice. We really need to send the damage here. 1 encounter card. Sorry, I drew 2, but it's a Sonic Boom. We'll shuffle that back. And we're just going to go ahead and cancel this. We still have to deal with Grant Ward here, but I don't want this text to fire. It means if we exhaust Grant Ward, we keep Grant Ward around for another round, which I don't love because then we have to pay more. So hold on, just shuffle this real quick, give it a cut. So I think we're just going to go ahead and Cosmic Ward this. So we'll cancel the one revealed. Now we did still reveal a card. So we have to spend a mental. So we have to get rid of Wasp. No, Grant. The other option is that we can just let Grant hit us. It does 2 damage and runs away, which, hey, that's maybe a good time to do that because we can drop down Wasp. Us plus Wasp, maybe that's fine. We have a strength in numbers to discard to our ability, and we'll Karmic Blast. Yeah, I'll just let Grant Ward do his bad thing. So we take 2 damage. Ow. And Grant Ward leaves the game. I never trusted that guy. All right, it's back to us. So we are going to play Wasp. We're going to advance Klaw. We need to do some threat work. Yeah, actually, threat might be an issue here. Unless we need to draw something that will thwart. Checking our bin. We have 2 copies of Cosmic Awareness. One's in the discard pile. And then we have 2 recursion cards, which would be the Quantum Magic. One's in the discard pile. So there's 2 draws in the deck that will do something good for us. We'll be drawing 2 cards. Not a lot of good thwart cards otherwise. The other option is we can turn the tide and then just play a smaller Wasp. But then it's really bad. Wait, if that's the case, then I think we don't play Wasp. And then we just keep Grant Ward around. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, we can even return the favor to Advance Claw. That might be better. Yeah, okay. We didn't see anything new, so I'm actually going to retcon this because I think it actually makes more sense. Because if we play Wasp, these 2 cards don't do anything, and then we have to like strengthen numbers ourselves, which I don't think I love that much. So instead for Grant Ward, we're going to pitch Wasp to keep Grant Ward around. So we'll heal 2, and we'll have a Grant Ward with 1 health. Okay. The cool thing we can do right now, yeah, I don't think the order matters. So let's just throw the Turn the Tide out. Targeting the main scheme, so remove. Oh, actually, if that's the case, we'll thwart 1 first off of it. And then we'll throw Turn the Tide out to thwart 2 more, which readies us, and we draw 2 cards. So we draw a shield spell and a spiritual meditation. We'll just play the spiritual meditation next. Never stays in your hand that long. We draw 2. It's a teamwork and an Angela. We still have a lot of big minions. We have to discard a card here. I think we can just get rid of I don't think it matters what we get rid of. We have a lot of health. We'll get rid of the shield spell. So on 4 health, we only waste a bit of health here, but it's a good time to return the favor. This is another reason why I prioritize these Cosmic Wards. So it says discard cards until a treachery is discarded. Oh, wait, hold on. Before we do that, we should use Grant Ward first. So Grant Ward is just, I guess, going to thwart for 2. Oh man, I realized that this reveals treacheries, which Grant Ward does not like. So some anti-synergy there. So we have to figure out how to use Grant Ward first. Okay, so if that's the case, pump the brakes slightly. Almost did a disaster. There's a 0-cost card that says when you attack with an ally, they get +3 attack and then discard them. Like maybe you play that. Maybe it's better than strength or teamwork. I could see that. I don't know what the name of the card is. I think it came in, maybe it came in Magneto, maybe it didn't. But that's another 0-cost card that I consider in the deck. Like maybe we just waste some value and thwart for 2. Yeah, whatever. We'll thwart for 2. If that was the case, we could have attacked for 1, but no matter what, it's not going to matter because the breakpoint on return the favor is 5. So now we'll discard cards until we find a treachery. Shadow the Past. Now that doesn't matter because Cosmic Ward will cancel it. So we're not going to do the text. So we'll cancel it. And then we still revealed it. The return the favor is going to do 5 damage. So now we go on to Claw 3. Claw 3 comes in with toughness. That's awkward. Oh, we'll take that off ourselves. So that's not that bad. And comes in with 22 health. Text is functionally the same, just attacks for a bit more, and I think schemes for a bit more. So schemes for 3, attacks for 2, and 2 cards. That's that. Okay. We will attack for 1, taking off the toughness. If we play Angela here, it's slightly risky. We're going to do it. We just want damage. We're maybe a turn or 2 away from closing the game out. So when we look at the top 10, we want to find an arms dealer. I'm not sure how many are left in the deck. Whoa, a lot of bad encounter cards. Oh my God. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's bad. I should have checked where the armored guards were. I think they're already in the deck. Did we miss any? Or the weapons runners? Sorry, we're looking for weapons runners there. There's actually, I think, 2 left in the bottom. So unfortunately, we only look at the top 10. Yeah, there's 1 weapons runner in the bottom that we missed. So we have to pick one of these minions and put them in play. So our options are 7 health radioactive man. And then unfortunately, this guard, which stinks because we wanted to send the Karmic Blast to the face. So if that's the case, maybe we just Karmic Blast radioactive man Ugh. Maybe this wasn't the responsible thing to do. I guess we'll get Radioactive Man out of the way and we'll put Armored Guard back. So Radioactive Man, 7 health. You know the drill. Seeing that many bad standard cards in this deck was kind of frightening. So as long as we found the minion, and we did, Angela will enter play. Otherwise, you have to discard her. At least she costs nothing. Such is the deck. So 3 health. Before we activate with Angela, we'll just play this Karmic Blast. We'll target Radioactive Man. So we're going to discard the full 4. We need to find at least 3 different icons. I haven't checked the discard pile to see if we can see any trends, but green? No. Oh, that's bad. And it's the Cosmic Awareness. So that does 5 damage, which is just enough that Angela will finish off the job. So not great. We could have sent all that damage into Klaw instead of playing Angela, but here we are. And we'll pass. All right, at least we're healthy. Klaw's hitting harder. We draw Make the Call. That's good. Our bin's healthy. Looking for trouble. Bring It, which I don't know if there's that many more minions for either of those. We have a Quantum Magic, which is great at the end of your deck. And then the Expert Defense, which I think we honestly play the Expert Defense here. That will leave us with at least 2 red cards, which that's great. That does like technically 3 damage and draws 2 cards. We will deck out. This goes to 2. And now Klaw 3 is attacking. And so we're going to defend. And we're going to play Expert Defense, which gives us +3 defense. So we're defending for 5. And Klaw's attacking for 2 + 2 cards. 1, 2. No boost. 3 damage. Gang Up and Assault. Good to see those go. So we take no damage there. So we kind of overblocked. Encounter card. Masters of Mayhem. This is going to get a minion. I'm really sad that we can get the pin down to line up, but maybe this is exactly what will happen with the Quantum Magic. So each Masters of Evil minion engaged with the hero attacks. If no attacks were made, search the counter deck and discard pile for a Masters of Evil minion and put it in play engaged with you. I just want to check the deck really quickly, and I don't think there's any in here. No, so there's a Weapons Runner, an Armored Guard, and then Caught Off Guard, Exhaustion. Okay, some bad expert cards. I think all the expert cards just about are in the bottom. So we're going to go search the discard pile, and I think here we can set it up that we will be able to pin down somebody like the Tornado guy. I don't know his name. Because if we pin one of these down, they have -2 attacks, so they don't do anything. I think the perfect target is Whirlwind. Yeah, I think we will do it. Shuffle the discard pile. You're not allowed to do that. It shouldn't matter. So we'll put Whirlwind into play with 6 health. Now, we have a pin down and we can grab it, which would be quite nice. And if we pin this down, it just sits there on the table, and then we get a bit more value from things like Bring It. So I just want to see where a pin down is. Of course, there's only one of in the deck. Is it the last card in our deck? No, it's down there. So we can grab it with the Quantum Magic if we want to. All right, so that means we don't have to deal with the Whirlwind. It'll just watch. If that's the case, Bring It draws a card. I'm just going to check what the last card is so I don't have to do the math. It's Skilled Investigator. Okay. So as soon as we draw that, we shuffle our deck. So if we want to get some of these in the bin first, we can. So if that's the case, I guess the order doesn't matter. Oh, no, we would have to Quantum Magic first before we lose it. Or Make the Call first before we lose it. Make the Call can grab anybody from our bin. But if we want to play Quantum Magic, Make the Call, that leaves us with 1 card. We'll be drawing cards with Mystic, but Make the Call can get us anybody. So you could even Make the Call grant Ward, which is like kind of fine. Just keep the threat in check. I think that's what we do, actually. We will Make the Call. That's kind of nice to have 0 costers. Play the printed cost of an ally and play in your discard pile. So another good reason to maybe keep Grant Ward around. He'll never betray us. So we got Grant back. Comes in with 3 health, and attacks and thwarts for 2. Has no other downside to it. I wouldn't read that too carefully. And then here we will pitch Looking for Trouble for Quantum Magic. So we'll search our whole discard pile and for a card and add it to our hand. So we're going to grab that pin down. And we'll attach the pin down to Whirlwind. So now with -2 attack, Whirlwind has no active text. I'm just going to put you to the side. You can kind of watch how things happen over there. And that's back to us. So we will deck out. I will just now throw Bring It at Klaw to do 2 damage with our Battle Mage ability. And then we fire all our stuff. We ready? Klaw goes into 20. We draw 2 cards. So we draw the Skilled Investigator, an Encounter card, and we shuffle. I am scared about all the expert cards. That's a downside. The expert cards, a lot of them surge. So you draw into 2 cards. It does, I think, also mean with Exhaustion still in the deck. If you're not too familiar with expert, they're really mean. I don't love surge. But this is a reason though we should be blocking a bit more because we'll just lose our activation. And I think it's still in the deck. We haven't drawn it yet. Defending for 2 with 11 health is like kind of silly, but our 1 attack, 1 thwart doesn't really move the needle anyways. All right, we have 1 more card to draw. Soul World gets it to counter. So we can play a 0 coster and we can't play Pip. We can hold on to Plip. So play Skilled Investigator. So that's fine. If we ever clear a side scheme, which I don't know if we will. Angela will attack for 2. Grant Ward will thwart for 2, which maybe we don't have to. We can maybe ignore that a bit. And we will attack for 1. We'll hold on to Pip, which we might just play here, and then we'll pass. Problem with Pip is Pip likes the sort of icons that you kind of need for Grant Ward. So we'll see if we draw extra mentals. We never played our staff. I think we discarded our staff like 3 times, but at this point in the game, you usually get it down. Karmic Blast for damage. That's perfect. Strength in numbers. I don't know if that's going to matter. There's the staff, maybe a bit too late. And our 5th card is foiled. So if we get an advance, this goes to 2 threat. Claw's attacking for 2 and 2 cards. Here we need to decide. Our hand has no mentals besides Pip. So this is a turn that Grant Ward will probably sabotage us. If that's the case, I'd rather keep Grant Ward for Pip. If we draw 2 treacheries, it feels kind of bad because Grant Ward is probably a bit better than Pip here. We need to keep one of these to fire Battle Mage. So I think we're just going to take this to the face. How many Sonic Booms are there? It doesn't matter. We'll block. Yeah, we'll block. So we'll defend for 2, which is silly with 11 health, but our 1 attack, 1 thwart might not matter. So attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, under fire, big boost. 6, 7, 8, massive damage. So we end up taking 6 of that. Ouch. Huge hits. So we're down to 5. We still have 2 encounter cards to go. Treachery, Claw's Vengeance. So we're getting attacked again. So Klaw attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So Claw's now attacking for 2 and 2 cards once again. We know there's still expert cards in here. They all have double boost. So unfortunately, this might be where Angela gets in the way. We could play Pip, but Grant Ward will betray us. The question is whether this is also a treachery. And I think we saw so many basic cards that Grant Ward is probably bound to betray us. That'll drop us to 3 health. So maybe we just play Pip here. Yeah, I think we do play Pip. Oh, we can't even play Pip. I didn't even look at that. Wait, Pip actually requires resources of which we do not have in our hand. So Pip, no decisions to make. We'll block with Angela. 1, 2, 3. Weapons Runner, we have to put in play. It's not going to activate, but good to know it's there. So that's 3 damage, knocking out Angela. And now we have to do Grant Ward's text, so we'll discard Pip the Troll to keep Grant Ward in play. I told you. And this is also so bad because now we're going to lose Grant Ward anyways. Yeah, we probably actually should not discard the Pip the Troll because it's so likely. So this says Surge, exhaust yourself, which we're already exhausted. I did exhaust the wrong card. And now Grant Ward's going to attack us and leave. So now we'll take 2 and removes himself from the game, which means we threw out Pip for no reason. Probably should have seen that coming. And our next card also something that would have done with Grant Ward. Again, Surge is really bad with Grant Ward, but place 4 threat on each side scheme. This is why we have these schemes around, because we can just put this at 10. Player side schemes are side schemes, and we don't care about the text on that. It's back to us. The Weapons Runner is tickling us. We could maybe hop down and let the scheme go through. I don't think it's that bad. Otherwise, in this hand, we have up to 8 damage plus 1 from us. So I think that's usually how it goes. We can keep foiled in our hand, which is good. So I think we will keep foiled and jump down, because this will go up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, the foiled is not enough because just the 2 things on the table scheme for 4, right? Right, like Claw schemes for 3, even with no boost card. Weapons Runner schemes for 1, so that's 4 scheme. So this will be at 6, even if we get it down to 0. So the foiled is not worth anything. So that means even getting rid of the threat here is kind of useless because it'll go up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, unless we knock out Weapons Runner and keep the foiled somehow. But I think we're just going to let this go through. I think when it completes, you just get a minion, which is fine. So if that's the case, I think we'll just strengthen numbers ourselves. Doesn't matter. Wait, is this where we take the Weapons Runner? Maybe we'll just take the Weapons Runner. That might be the fun thing to do. Show of empathy we can actually interact with foiled. And it says, when threat is removed from the scheme, place the threat on a non-elite minion. If there's an equal threat to health, the Weapons Runner becomes ours. It becomes a redeemed Weapons Runner, which is kind of funny. Like, it's not super important. It's not like a big minion, but hey, what else do we do with this foiled? It means there's a chance. Oh, but then we won't have the foiled. So now you don't end up drawing with Skilled Investigator because it doesn't complete it. I think defeat means remove all threat. I might be wrong about that. Interesting turn. So there's a line where we take 2 off the main scheme and then draw a threat card, and then we can get Weapons Runner. I think we do need to recover here. There's no way we play the strength in numbers, so I think we will just discard it. The difference is with foiled, we do 3 threat. With strength in numbers, we do 2 threat. Because either this gives us +1 and we thwart for 1, +1, which is 2, or we discard this and ready ourselves, so we thwart +2 +1, which is 3. This also lets us knock at the Weapons Runner, which is okay. Actually, if we knock at the Weapons Runner, this goes to 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, right. We have to also take 2 off this. I think we'll try for that. So we're going to do strength in numbers. So we'll discard it. Our hero will have +1 for the whole phase. So we'll ready and we'll draw 2 cards and hopefully this does something. I'm not 100% sure what the best line was here. Make the calls. Okay. We have access to Pip and Angela. We have a Bring It, and Bring It now is really quite good because of course we have the pin down Whirlwind. So we can just play the Bring It. I think we do, which will draw 2 cards. Ant-Man. Okay, wait a second. Now we're talking. Still not perfect, but Ant-Man means we actually can do everything we want. We can thwart for 2. We can take the weapons runner over, and we can actually survive the next round in alter ego safely. Wait, that's sick. So we need to hold on to this. We want to play this, but then we only have a small Ant-Man. I think we hold on to the Karmic Blast and do a big Ant-Man because we're that close to ending the game. So if that's the case, I don't think we have to play the staff. I think it's way too late for that. So we'll play Ant-Man, and we'll pitch 1, 2, 3 to give 3 Pim counters and have a big old 2/2. Okay, we'll hold on to these 2 cards. Ant-Man, thwart for 2 off of Underground, taking 1 consequential. And then we will thwart for 2 off of Show of Empathy, which when you take threat off of this, you place it on a non-elite minion. And if the minion has threat on it equal to greater than its remaining hit points, it becomes redeemed. So it's our weapons runner now. I've always wanted one of these ever since the core set. So this goes to the victory display. I don't think it's defeated, so we don't do skilled investigator stuff. But we add a redeemed to it, redemption, called redemption. And redemption just says that it's now an ally. Its thwart is 1, its attack is 1, and why not? We're going to go attack for 1. I love the theme on this. I wish there was more cards that do it. It's kind of niche. Attacks Claw for 1. Now we can flip down safely, and in here we can do Soul World, which we can now recover fully up to 11. I think we've recovered about 20 this game. We'll hold into these 2 cards, which seem really important, and we'll pass, drawing up 4 more. A Call for Aid, which doesn't hit anything. Probably the card in their deck I'm most likely to cut. Turn the Tide, which could do some damage. Get Ready, which might matter with Ant-Man, and then Return the Favor, which might actually just win the game if we're lucky, if we get the damage down low enough. This goes to 2. Now, Klaw, of course, schemes for 3 in a card, which is very likely to advance, but a 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's just enough to advance. Or here we're going to play Foiled. Barely played this card before. When the boost is turned face up during a scheme activation, cancels boost icon. So now that only goes up to 5 of 6. It doesn't advance. If it advances, we don't lose, but like we might as well do what we can. There is 1 more main scheme. It does draw a minion when it advances. Our card is Illegal Arms Factory. Ugh. Okay, so at least we can ignore this if we think we can win, but otherwise it has a hazard, which is not the best. 4 threat. Back to us. Okay, we're at full health. How much damage can we do? Turn the Tide is 3 damage. This is up to 8 damage. But if we want to play Turn the Tide, we have to take threat off. Return the Favor is 5 damage, which is nice. So this does 5, 11, and then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think we have lethal here. With Get Ready, we have more damage. So it's going to be a bit scary to Return the Favor, but we already, we should have lethal here finally. So what do we start with? I think we start with attacking for 1. The villain takes 1. Then what card are we throwing out? I think Call for Aid. Yeah, it's Call for Aid. So we'll Call for Aid. We'll throw it out to our Battle Mage ability. So we ready ourselves, get +1 to all our stats for the whole round. We draw 2 cards and we ready ourselves. Draw Come Get Me Bub and a Chase Them Down. Okay, not super useful. We'll attack for 2 with Ant-Man. The Weapons Runner will attack for 1. Brave Little Soldier, go free. We lose it when it goes away, right? It won't matter. I don't know if it gets shuffled into our deck. I don't think it does. Okay. Wait, none of this is guaranteed. This all depends on the Karmic Blast. Wait, this is actually not anywhere near as guaranteed as I was hoping it to be. So we have 5 damage. We have 10 damage. And no, this might do it. We need a good Karmic Blast here. So let's do a good Karmic Blast. So we're targeting Klaw, of course. We'll pitch 1, 2. So deal 4 damage, and we'll discard a full 4 card. So we're looking for at least 2 types, I think is what we need. So we have red, green, yellow, no. Damn, okay, basic. That's why you don't play basic. So that still does 7 damage. That's perfect. So down to 5, which means all we have to do here is we can attack 2 for 2, but I'm assuming we'll survive or return the favor, which is a really nice way to end any game. So we'll discard cards until we find an encounter card. Masters of Mayhem, okay. Each Master's minion attacks a hero engaged if no attacks were made. Oh, search encounter deck and discard pile. So hey, we did actually deck out there perfectly. That was actually super risky. I didn't know there's only 1 card in the deck. So if we missed and didn't draw an encounter card with Return the Favor, it would have lost all the damage. So we might not have been able to advance. At least there would be no downside besides acceleration. But technically we get an acceleration here. Technically, this doesn't get shuffled back. Technically, this says search the deck, right? Yeah, so we can just go grab whoever we want. So we'll just grab Melter. And then after that, all that resolves, which I won't shuffle this for obvious reasons. The rest of the text on Return the Favor, it does 5 damage to Klaw. Knocking out Klaw. We had 2 more damage from Get Ready. We can ready Ant-Man and send it back in. But yes, we do start doing burst damage when we see the finish line. Man, that took a while. We were really spinning up for a bit, and then we started throwing those big damages, those karmic blasts. It's surprisingly fun playing only zero costs. I do think there's probably some zero costers you can change in and out. I think the one discarding for an Avenger probably doesn't make sense. As much as we have 2 targets, I don't think you need it. So maybe the one that gives you +3 attack, I'll find the name of the editor, Andre will put on the screen. But still just really good. Yeah, actually, no, we had 4 more damage because we could have readied Ant-Man and Adam Warlock went in there as well. So, it's kind of neat. It's kind of really neat. Whether you want to play +1 hand size, it's up to you to figure out whether that 2 coster is acceptable. But actually, more enjoyable than I thought it was. I was wanting to play some Adam Warlock. And again, last time I played Adam Warlock, it was just a bunch of really good cards. And now this is definitely a bit more of a deck building restriction. Anywho, thanks so much for watching. If you want to try the deck, it is in the description below on a Marvel CDB link. Otherwise, if you want to take a second to leave a like on the channel or on the video, if you appreciate content like that, it really does help the channel grow through the algorithm. It's incredibly appreciated. Whether you want to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, again, all that stuff helps. Again, thank you so much for watching. Glad you're enjoying stuff like this. And otherwise, we'll be back in the near future with some more Marvel Champions gameplay. Thanks for watching. Ciao.